Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I am Osama Shah. Sardaar Ji 3. It is a movie that is now caught in controversy. There is a superstar named Diljit Dosanjh who is under fire, and a debate that is now dividing the entire nation. From casting decisions to patriotic declarations, Sardaar Ji 3, it has indeed sparked a storm. Why is Diljit Dosanjh facing backlash? Who's speaking up and who's staying silent? Well, three movie and literature icons, namely Javed, Akhtar, Imtiaz and Chetan Bhagat, they were at the NDTV creators event where they shared their thoughts on this entire controversy. What did they have to say? Well, take a look.
जो लेटेस्ट खबर जो अभी चल रही है इन दिनों, दिलजीत दोसांझ उनकी फिल्म सरदार जी 3 जिसमें पाकिस्तानी एक्ट्रेस के काम करने को लेकर एक ज़बरदस्त अभी बहस देश में छिड़ी हुई है कि ये होना चाहिए था, नहीं होना चाहिए था। मेकर्स कह रहे हैं कि फिल्म भारत में रिलीज़ नहीं हो रही।
पिक्चर मुझे मालूम नहीं कब बनाई गई, अगर
मेकर्स का कहना है पहले बनाई गई।
हाँ, तो अब वो क्या करे बेचारा, वो तो आगे का उसे क्या होगा तो नहीं पता था ना। और पैसा तो उसने लगाया, इसमें पाकिस्तान का पैसा तो डूबेगा नहीं, पैसा तो हमारे हिंदुस्तानी आदमी का डूब जाएगा। तो ये तो क्या फ़ायदा इससे। ये है कि
आपको लगता है देश में रिलीज़ होनी चाहिए फिल्म?
लॉ जो है रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव में नहीं होते हैं कि मैंने आज लॉ बनाया और आज से 10 साल पहले की बात पे अप्लाई किया, वो नहीं हो पाएगा, वो प्रैक्टिकल नहीं है। और उस गरीब को मालूम होता कि ऐसा होने वाला है तो पागल थोड़ी था कि वो ले लेता तो एक्ट्रेस को। मेरा ख्याल है सरकार को और सेंसर बोर्ड को इस बात को सिंपैथी से देखना चाहिए और कहना चाहिए भाई तुम आइंदा मत करना, लेकिन अभी तुमने पहले बना ली थी तो चलो रिलीज़ कर लो, लेकिन इट शुड नॉट हैपन अगेन।
दिलजीत भी आजकल थोड़ा कश्मकश में चल रहे हैं। एक फैसला है जिसमें कुछ उन्हें सही मान रहे हैं, कुछ उन्हें गलत मान रहे हैं। क्योंकि आप फिल्म मेकर हैं, नेशनलिटी का मामला है, मुझे लगता है कम से कम मैं आपकी राय ले सकता हूँ कि जो ये रिसेंट एक कहानी चल रही है पाकिस्तान के साथ काम करने को लेकर।
देखिए, इसमें मैं ज़्यादा तो कुछ नहीं कह सकता हूँ, मगर मुझे लगता है क्योंकि मैं दिलजीत को जानता हूँ तो मैं जानता हूँ कि उसके दिल में देशभक्ति का जज्बा बहुत स्ट्रांग है। वो बिल्कुल सन ऑफ द सॉइल है। आप देखिएगा कि उसके जो कॉन्सर्ट्स इतने फेमस हुए हैं, आखिर में वो हिंदुस्तान का झंडा लेता है। और वो ऐसा बंदा नहीं है कि झूठ मूठ कोई चीज़ करे, फेकनेस के साथ वो कुछ नहीं करता है। तो उसके दिल में ये जज्बा, उसको किसी ने कहा नहीं था कि आप ऐसा करो, बट वो अपने हर कॉन्सर्ट के एंड में वो मैं हूँ पंजाब और हिंदुस्तान के झंडे के साथ,
इसीलिए शायद सबने इतनी मोहब्बत उन्हें दी और इसीलिए शायद लोग सवाल भी उठा रहे हैं सर।
हाँ, मगर क्या होता है कि अक्सर क्या होता, मैं देखिए डिटेल्स तो नहीं जानता, बट एक्टर का डिसीजन नहीं होता है ना कि किसे कास्ट किया जाए फिल्म में। तो आई डोंट नो हाउ इट वेंट, बट आई डू नो दैट वो उसके अंदर देश प्रेम बहुत ज़्यादा है दिलजीत के अंदर। तो मुझे लगता है कि जो लोग देख पाएंगे उसके अंदर के सच को, कुछ देर के बाद उनको समझ में आ जाएगा।
सवाल ये है कि दिलजीत दोसांझ को बहुत सारे लोगों ने क्रिटिसाइज़ किया है, ये भी कहा है कि जितना जो उनके प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं जो साइन किया गया है उसको रोक दिया जाए
because of his movie सरदार 3।
हानिया आमिर ही हैज साइंड मूवी, मतलब जो सरदार 3 आ रही है जी, उस पर तो
फर्स्टली
बॉयकॉट पाकिस्तान ट्रेंड कर रहा है, पाकिस्तानी आर्टिस्ट्स को बॉयकॉट करना चाहिए।
या सो इट्स अ टफ वन। ये पर्टिकुलर केस टफ वन है, तभी शायद कंट्रोवर्सी बना है। फर्स्टली आई लव दिलजीत, आई थिंक ही इज़ वन ऑफ द ट्रूली एक्सेप्शनली टैलेंटेड इंडिविजुअल्स एंड आई रियली एडमायर, कई चीज़ें उन्होंने करी हैं लाइफ में। ही स्टिक्स टू हिज प्रिंसिपल्स। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, ही वॉन्टेड टू बी इन बॉलीवुड बट ही डिडंट कट हिज हेयर, ही स्टेड अ सिख and he kept his hair like that and he still became a star, it's not a joke. Anybody can get tempted कि चलो यार हिंदी फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में फिट होने के लिए, but I admire him a lot for that. I think his music, his concerts, his acting, his reels, if you've seen on Instagram, are hilarious. So many different talents he has, there is no doubt about it. फिल्म्स सिर्फ दिलजीत की नहीं है, कोई भी फिल्म सिर्फ एक्टर की नहीं होती है, ये पहली बात हमें समझनी है। उस फिल्म में 300 लोगों ने काम किया होगा कम से कम, उनकी रोजी रोटी चली है, किसी ने उसमें कपड़े चुने होंगे, किसी ने गाने लिखे होंगे, लोगों ने बहुत मेहनत की है उस फिल्म पे। अगर आपका दिलजीत से कोई इशू भी है, उन सबको पीनलाइज करना इज़ नॉट फेयर। वो लोगों ने डिसाइड भी नहीं किया होगा हीरोइन कौन है कौन नहीं होगी, शायद दिलजीत ने भी नहीं किया होगा, राइट, पहली बात ये है. दूसरी बात, आई थिंक दे हैव इशूड मल्टीपल स्टेटमेंट्स नाउ कि यार ये सब पहले हुआ था, पहलगाम से भी पहले की कास्टिंग हो रखी है, ऐसा कोई रूल नहीं था, हमने रख लिया, आगे से नहीं लेंगे. पर अब फिल्म बन गई है और 300 लोगों की मेहनत है, इतने पैसे लगे हुए हैं, उसको बैन करना इज़ टू मच. आपको नहीं पसंद आ रहा, आपको डिसटेस्टफुल लग रहा, मत देखो पिक्चर, मेरे को ये लगता है. एंड अगर हमने एक कलेक्टिव डिसीजन ले लिया है कि नहीं करना, आगे से नहीं करेंगे. पर जो पाइपलाइन में चीज़ें थी उसके पीछे पीनलाइज करना, और अब आप जो कह रहे हो कि कॉल्स हो रहे हैं कि दिलजीत को काम ही नहीं मिलेगा, दिस इज
ओवर रिएक्शन.
आई थिंक हाईली अनफेयर. एंड ब्रॉडली मैं कहूँगा हमारा काम, हमारा एक ही एम है पाकिस्तान के साथ, हमें अपनी कंट्री को सिक्योर करना है, हमें कोई लेना देना नहीं, हमें मुंह नहीं लगना उनके.
Well, there are a lot of reactions that are coming in. Some are pro-Diljit, some are anti-Diljit, but it has indeed sparked a very interesting conversation. We'll try and make sense of a lot of things that have been said so far. I'm currently joined by Nasir Abdullah. He's an actor. I also have Gurashish Singh. He's a pop singer, also a friend of Diljit Dosanjh. Gentlemen, welcome to NDTV. Welcome to the show. Gurashish, first of all, I mean, when you look at this entire controversy, when you look at whatever that has transpired in the last couple of days, what I want to understand from you, and because you know him personally, you are his friend, is Diljit Dosanjh the kind of a person who would purposely do something like this? Would he purposely, knowing everything that has transpired in the last couple of months, would he do something like this?
Well, sir, I mean, I just want to clarify that we're not friends. I mean, for so many interviews that NDTV has called me for it, I mean, it's somehow been coincidentally Diljit, so it turns out that I'm friends. But then, obviously, as artists, you relate to an artist like Diljit. So I'm very. I mean, you've called me a friend. It really touches my heart. But I do not know him personally. But talking about this scenario, I don't think any artist would involve himself into, doing something deliberately, something of this sorts.
Okay, Nasir Abdullah, I saw you shaking your head. What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this entire controversy?
Yes. Firstly, when you asked him the question that do you think he would do something like that, the answer is obvious. It's there in the universe. So the gentleman here spoke his heart. Obviously not. Who would be stupid enough to be a citizen of the country to fool around with the laws and the sensitivities of the country? He would have to be mental, and I don't think he's like that. But let's go elsewhere. Here is the deal. I benefited from a fact that a Pakistani actor was not allowed to act in a film that was Shah Rukh Khan's first film, Dil Aashna Hai. And that was actually Mohsin Khan, who had married a Bollywood actress called Reena Roy, I believe. And he was already cast in the film of Hema Malini, first film of Shah Rukh Khan. And the part had gone to him. But because the Shiv Sena didn't want a Pakistani actor working there, he was evicted. Thank God he was evicted. I got the part. So I've got to say, hey, thanks to Shah Rukh Khan's first film was my first film too, Dil Aashna Hai. Unfortunately, it had a problem because it was also released during after demolition of the Babri Masjid thingy, and it sort of got burnt out, unfortunately. But that's another story. But here is my deal. I don't think India needs to behave like the Pakistanis would. They would do things like that, find any little excuse to fool around. We are not like that. I think we Indians have the class and the gut and the sense to not fool around and to unnecessarily press some kind of a charge against somebody who's used an actress from an opposing country. The fact remains that Pahalgam happened recently, and this film happened much earlier. It's all done, and I agree with Javed Akhtar. I also agree with the gentleman whom you were speaking to just now. I agree with everybody who's actually spoken. They should speak in his defense. We don't have to behave arrogantly and stupidly like the Pakistanis. We got to be nice. It's okay. If at all we have to be nasty to anybody, it has to be to the people who run the country, people from the military, from the army of Pakistan. These are decent people who are artists. Who want to portray a character.
Possibly is the reason why there are so many, there are so many questions that are being raised, and including why should an Indian actor be punished for a casting decision that he may not have made himself? And that is a very valid question. Then.
Exactly. But again, the fact remains, where is the crime? Where is the crime? If it was Pakistan doing the same thing, I would say understandable. India does not need to be so cheap. It is an actor. They have done a part in the film. End of the story. It happened before this horrible incident. So obviously there have been issues earlier on when the Pakistani actors were used. But I do not think, no way that Diljit, I don't know him at all. I'm not even his fan. Believe you me, I know him like zero almost. But I know one thing, that he would not in any circumstance go and cross the line and fool around and have another headache on his head, having worked so hard on a film, because one little Pakistani actress ruins everything. We are not that small. We allow the film to be, but in the future, of course, we know the story. Anybody who wants to cast anybody from Pakistan in a movie will have to get the okay signal in the future from the films division or whatever, the censor board, etc. But now this film should be allowed to go and people should just watch the film, enjoy it. It's not fair to always cast aspirations on the patriotism and this intention to harm the country's image. No way anybody in this industry from India would do it. So I think everybody should just let it be and enjoy the film, if at all, give it an award, if at all, and move on.
You spoke about
That's
patriotism.
all.
You spoke about patriotism. I want to get a sense from Gurashish as well. A lot of people have been protesting. A lot of people have been calling for boycotting his film, boycotting Diljit in general, not making, there are calls that Diljit should not get any work from now on. Do you think all these calls for Diljit's removal, is it because of patriotism or is it plainly because of politics?
Sir, I think it's just a matter of time and emotions evoke out. I don't think that, even as responsible filmmakers, nobody would go on, indulging into things when they are so busy in filmmaking and crafting good art. I think it's just a matter of few days that, people are gonna, it's a burning hot topic and, it's a buzz of emotions going around. But I believe that, this will settle down very soon because we all are wise enough to understand that everyone has priorities in their life. And more than anything, everyone in Bollywood or any film industry is looking forward to doing great work. We're not here to boycott artists. We're not here to, spread
it's wonderful that you mentioned boycott.
citizens.
Yeah, it's great that you mentioned boycott, Gurashish. And I want to ask this from Nasir Abdullah. This entire boycott culture. Firstly, what do you make of this? And Javed Akhtar, he today itself, he said that just warn the filmmakers, and let it run. Are we jumping to boycott culture too quickly nowadays?
Yes, I think it's been happening for a long time for different reasons, about the Pakistani issue, about the other issues, there was about the Padmavati thingy, there is about the color of some bikini, which also resemble whatever. I think it's very unfair. And I think I will tell you one thing that is obvious to me very much, and it's happening all the time. And that is because the film industry folks are soft targets. So they will just find any pretext. And it's always happening for some other reason. Some guy who wrote some lines once upon a time which match with the song that somebody had done. He wants to boycott this. He wants to put a case against it. It's horrendous. I think it is almost a shame, but it's constantly happening because somebody somewhere gets the political mileage out of it, or money. It's a blackmail thingy always, and it has almost happened once. I will tell you once, a Karan Johar film. This Raj Thakre's the Sena guys were sort of insisting that you pay a fine to 3 of the crores. So Mr. Fadnavis was in charge at that time. He actually almost officiated the deal, and he said, okay, to Karan Johar, I think that you pay whatever you want. And so the army, it was something that was against the army. So the army refused. They said, we don't want ransom money. We don't want this, BS. They were appalled at the idea that a filmmaker is being asked to pay money for an alleged, a kind of a bad an image that was apparently created about the army or the Pakistan. I don't know. That was ages ago. You can imagine when I'm actually talking.
Yeah.
And the army refused the money. They were forcing them to pay for, having upset the national image or some such thing. The army said, no, we don't want this kind of money. It is criminal money. Can you imagine? Army refused once.
Yeah. The flip side to this argument is, and I want to get a sense from Gurushish on this, is it fair to call every sort of backlash a boycott gang reaction, or should filmmakers anticipate such responses? And I know this is a hypothetical question, but Gurushish, what do you make of that?
I'm not in favor of this. I mean, I was lucky enough to find the right knowledge of life, which from a guru or a master. His name is Master Ji. It changed my perspective towards world. जिनको हम संत कहते हैं, जिन्होंने हमें जीना सिखाया. That peace is the way forward to humanity. If you are not a peaceful being, you cannot point fingers at anyone and dissect them, because everyone over here is doing a role play of their asked desired life. So, what is being executed is nothing of our control. Many of the saints have said it, it's a game show, gameplay happening. And when we involve ourselves too seriously in this game, we end up destroying our own peace and the peace of others. So, this is one of the reasons of so much of wars going on of lately between India, Pakistan, and other parts of the world. It's hatred, it's sheer hatred, competition, feeling of jealousy, feeling of envy. So let's stop this and promote good art. As artists, I'm only here to talk about good art and, peaceful living for humans. So, I mean, that's all my take is, and boycott and all of this. I think, this is just emotions speaking out, just a blur of emotions because of the Pelgam attacks, one after the other. Yeah. And I certainly have a certain emotion that mourns for everything that has happened. I've mentioned this in yesterday's interview as well, that I mourn with all the losses of the lives. But art is not to be linked with that, because art is something which carries you to a dimension that lightens you as a person, that gives you that joy, sense of joy when you see artists performing. When you call it India, Pakistani, he's Hindu, he's Muslim.
That's actually a great point. And very well said, Gurushish. I want to get the last word from Nasir Abdullah. When you speak about Diljit Dosanjh, there have been a lot of conversation around his political ideology as well, who he supports, what he supports, etc., etc. Do you think this outrage, it's truly about national sentiment, or is Diljit being targeted for his growing influence and the voice that he carries?
Yeah, it could be a healthy mix of both, because he's been in a controversy about some issues about the farmers and others, and there was some backlash from other people. So that is the unfortunate part. I am terrifically with Gurushish Bhai, what he's saying. This is a work of art, and the idea is to view what the artist has painted, enjoy it, and then after 3 hours, you're home and you're involved with your other whatever. We don't need to be short-sighted, limited in our minds like the Pakistanis. They would jump at an opportunity like this. We don't have to do it, because we are not uncultured like them. They have a huge problem with anything and everything. We don't have to be like them. We don't have to be, they almost go down very badly. We don't have to copy them. We don't have to do a tit for tat here with them. Let this go, and there is no harm done, in my opinion. Just because this is an innocent person. I'm talking about the actress now. This is an innocent person who did her bit, whatever she had to, pre-Pahalgam. Now it's another story. But that time, you have to take that into account, treat the person like a human being, and let it be. And I have even a further thought. I think in the future, the government should allow us to make films with with the Pakistani actresses and not the male actors. We should keep them out. The female actresses should be allowed to stay because they're nice, they're charming, I think. And the men, I mean, I'm trying to be funny, but really, but really, it is wrong. It is not fair.
Okay.
And yes, I will reiterate that there is a political business here, and that other business here involved, and people take whatever advantage, but they need to excuse it, let it go, have a lovely time, and in the future, we all stand warned to do such things.
Lovely. Thank you, gentlemen, for being a part of this discussion. It was a fascinating discussion, and we hope to see you again.